everyone, welcome to All About the W, your weekly deep dive into the WSL, star stories and standard performances. Let's break it all down. My name is Ash, and as always, I'm joined by my co-host Kai. Today, we will be doing a review of the few games that we haven't talked about yet, which is mostly the Chelsea game, the City game, all the big games actually. It'll be
Because Spurs are big now.
Spurs are big
They're
now.
in the big leagues now.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, make sure if you're new to the channel, make sure you like, subscribe, comment, do all those wonderful things. And if you're an old hat, make sure you do all those wonderful things as well. But also share it with other people so that we really appreciate the boost in subs and in the algorithm. Anyway, Kai, it was a very fun weekend of football. You reckon?
Yeah, loads of goals. I mean, despite I think Arsenal Brighton game getting cancelled because of waterlogged pitch. I mean, I heard that it's been raining quite heavily in the UK. So even without it, everybody had decent fantasy points because Spurs and Villa and like City, just like everyone was scoring for fun clearly.
Yeah.
So Ash, we'll start with Manchester City versus Leicester, which finished 6-0. Bunny Shaw scored in the 22nd minute. Miedema got a brace. 28th and 36th minute. Hasagawa scored in the 38th minute. Carolyn in the 48th and Fujino in the 66th. I mean, pretty much what you expected, I guess. I mean, I thought maybe like considering how good Leicester have been defensively, as they always are, I feel like they stay pretty tight. And the fact that City had that slip up against Arsenal, I thought maybe this will be like there'll be a bit of nerves from Manchester City, and I don't think that was there at all. They came out absolutely firing.
Yeah, yeah. No, they came out. They definitely came out firing. In fact, I had predicted a 4 goals for City, and that was a conservative estimate because even 6 was a conservative estimate. I swear they could have scored like 8 or 9. And I'll be honest. Like, yes, Leicester have been pretty tight at the back, but they just lost. They've lost so many games in a row now. Like they lost 2-0 to United, they lost 2-1 to West Ham, they lost like 3-0 to Spurs, then they lost 1-0 to Spurs. So I just, I'm a little bit worried for Leicester, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like
Hmm.
they're definitely like I think they also realized somewhere down the line that they might be in trouble, and I think
Yeah.
that is playing on their mind in terms of, uh, in terms of their performance and their defense. Because when you're in defense, you have to run for every ball, you have to want to score, you have to want to push the ball forward, and
Mhm.
none of that seemed to be like happening for Leicester. And I feel like maybe they have like given up a little bit. I mean, to be fair, there's only a point difference between them and Liverpool, but
That's the thing. So I was looking at like their Leicester scores, right? They've scored 1 goal in 5 matches, and
yeah, in the
in like
whole
matches,
season, they have scored 8 goals. City has scored six
that's
goals
wild.
in this game. Like,
Yeah. And I think that's what is concerning.
yeah,
Like when you compare, say, Leicester, West Ham, and Liverpool, and I feel this way a little bit about Everton as well in terms of like scoring goals. They're not the best, but I feel like with West Ham and Liverpool especially, there are like goal scorers in those
yeah,
teams. Asai or Martinez or Sillag for West Ham or
yeah.
Capox. Somebody pops up with a goal. So I don't see that happening at all with Leicester, and that is a big concern.
Yeah, I don't think they were even trying to score. Like, I'll be honest, I, I mean, I don't even know how to look at how they set up, because I thought Mouchon was very good. I thought Mouchon was the only one who was trying. I think Mouchon got 2 or 3 bites at the apple as well in terms of like scoring. But I thought Mouchon was also like very isolated because Van Egmond, McLaughlin, these were not players that were like really assisting. I thought Shannon O'Brien tried her best. Shannon O'Brien did have
Yeah.
a few like incursions into the box. Lehman as well tried, but I thought that it was mostly the Mouchon show all by herself. I'm glad Mouchon is
Yeah.
starting now at least. So that is a plus for Leicester. But let's come to City. I think Leicester is just like it is what it is. I think they're definitely going for relegation of the
Hmm.
relegation battle, the playoff, what
Playoff,
it's
yeah.
called. But City, oh my God, down to a player. City were amazing. Coffee started. Coffee Hasagawa Miduma is a dream. It's a dream. I mean, to be fair, it's not like less Van Egmond was challenging them for like to win the ball or whatever. So I don't
Yeah.
know. Maybe we'll see a different City against better opposition. But this was a dream. It was so beautiful to watch, and you know, adding Hemp to that, Hemp had a stellar game, like absolutely stellar. All the crosses in were coming from Hemp. Like Hemp was the, and you know, like Hemp was outrunning like Mailing and Keys so often. It's like she had both of them in the her pocket combined. Like it
Hmm.
was, she was enough for all of
One in
them.
each pocket.
Yeah, one in each
Yeah.
pocket. That's why there are two.
Huh.
You know, it was, I just, Hemp was absolutely spectacular. Miedema was absolutely spectacular. Like just running in behind Bunny Shaw, making sure to put all, like being very clinical. You know, those little short passes they make to each other in the box, no? Hemp, Miedema, Shaw, and Hasagawa. It's just beautiful to watch. Like there is not a single, like it was just beautiful football. I'll be honest. Like even the Hasagawa goal, I don't know. She doesn't score that often, but you know she found herself in a forward position on a rebound. She scored that thing, and I'm just like, oh my god, like there's just no stopping this team. And Carolyn
Yeah.
managed to like steal the ball away from like Shannon O'Brien. I don't know who had the bright idea of having Neville defend against Carolyn, but uh, I mean
I mean, they
maybe.
have to work with what they have, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah, fair enough. And to be fair,
Yeah.
I don't even think Neville did that bad of a job. I think Carolyn,
Hmm.
for the most part, had a quieter game than the rest of them. But quieter game is very relative, you know, in a City team.
Yeah.
But I think
That's true.
Coffee, I think still uh, is my favorite player on the pitch, because Coffee, I think 2 or 3 times I saw Coffee steal the ball away from Leicester at their feet. Like, you know, it was
Hmm.
so wonderful to watch a player just do that. Just take the ball away. Like, it's my
Yeah.
ball, it's not your ball.
Yeah.
Give me my ball, you know? It was really like, and it allowed Yui Hasagawa also to go forward with the confidence that nothing is going to go wrong at the back, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I thought,
Yeah, I think that's what I'm excited for in the future for that City team, because like Hasagawa, we see Hasagawa play for Japan, and like she has a more forward role,
yeah,
and we've seen what she's capable of doing when she occupies those positions.
yeah,
And I feel like Coffee is like a more conservative player,
yeah,
like yes, she bombs into the box, yes, she can make some of those line breaking passes, all of that. She's like she's not a defensive, like your proper six in any way, like an out and out six, but she can do that role really well. So that's what I'm really excited to see. Maybe
yeah,
we'll see the best of that only in the
yeah,
next season.
yeah.
But yeah, I'm
My
very.
only like note of caution to City would be, I feel like Kasparai looks tired. There were a few
Hmm.
like just unnecessary like unforced errors from Kasparai, like just loose passes, losing the ball possession and passing out from the back. That I was it felt a little bit like just tiredness, and I'm wondering if she's tired, she's carrying an injury, whatever it is. Maybe a match day's rest sometime might not be like
Yeah. I
un
mean, there's an international break coming up. I mean, like she's a start of a Netherlands, so I
yeah,
don't know how that's gonna work. But yeah, hopefully everybody gets a bit of rest at the very least.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh, yeah.
So anyway, moving on to the next game. Unless you have something to add, Kai. Manchester United versus LCL, which ended 2-1 to Manchester United. LCL, Parish scored against her former team in the 5th minute. Well done to her. LCL took the lead early, but then Park scored in the 30th minute, and Turner followed it up in the 79th minute. United had a midweek game. Kai, how do you reckon they went?
Honestly, my prediction almost came true
Yeah,
because I did predict that this we're gonna see an upset in this game, and in my head, I was thinking like potentially even a draw
yeah,
against LCL would be a bad result for United. Like they absolutely, like I feel like United and Chelsea have to win everything going forward. They can't just to get that third Champions League spot. So in my head, I was like, you know what, they're going away to Atletico Madrid. It's a really tough game, and of course, like they made it look a bit easy, United on the day, but still, it's travel, it's traveling back, it's a midweek game. All of that is tough, and you know what, United did look very leggy. They had to make a few changes to their starting 11. Obviously, Janssen and Zigiotti were benched. I think it was minutes management, and Sandberg picked up an injury in Madrid. So, three key players who were not starting. So, honestly, like this result, given those circumstances, is very, very impressive for United because they created like next to nothing. They created next to nothing and managed to still score 2 goals,
yeah,
and like pressing at all, and or like this the press was like super ineffective.
yeah,
And LCL on the other hand, like they were constantly winning the midfield battles. They were able to progress. They didn't have the ball a whole lot, but they were able to progress the ball so quickly. Like it was almost like before United could even react,
yeah,
like the ball, like things have gotten away from them a little bit,
yeah,
And I thought London City Lionesses had a really good first half. Probably the better team over 90 minutes, but you know what? Doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Like as like a Chelsea fan, I hate I hate it when people say, "Oh, the other team had a better game, but you won," sort of a thing.
yeah,
Like I won't do that to United because they played a midweek game, and it's impressive for a team to have such a quick turnaround and still squeeze a result out of a game like this. So, but yeah, I mean, like I felt like that goal from Jess Park kind of personified what United, like the body language and just the general feeling that you felt from the United team, which is she basically gets the ball. I think she somebody passes the ball to her uh, somewhere near the halfway line. She dribbles like towards somewhere around the edge of the box and just takes a shot. And nobody closes her down. Nobody really presses her, so she has that freedom to run. And those are the situations I feel that Jess Park looks the most dangerous. Like when she has that little space to dribble ahead of pulling the trigger, I think she looks very, very dangerous. But honestly, her body language, she literally looked extremely frustrated, and it really looked like she just pulled the trigger out of frustration. She's just like, and then after she scores, she basically said, "Fucking hell," you know, and like not fucking hell in the sense of, "Oh, I cannot believe that went in,"
yeah,
but
yeah,
fucking hell in the sense of it's about fucking time,
yeah, yeah,
you
yeah,
know. And that's what that's what the whole of United looked like. And
yeah,
to be fair to them, and I am not this kind to United ever, but to be fair to them, their entire left hand side of their defense changed
yeah,
because Millie Turner comes in, Gabby George comes in, who by the way absolutely got cooked by Freya Godfrey.
yeah,
Uh, and I think Riviere also had to get subbed out because she picked up a knock.
yeah. Riviera
So
had a bad game as well, from what I've heard. Right? I on
yeah,
online
I
I've
mean
been
she
seeing her
lost.
being a little bit criticized.
Yeah, I mean, for the Paris goal, she completely lost Paris.
Yeah,
But yeah, I mean, LCL. Listen, they did create more. They should
yeah,
have scored. I mean, there was this one big chance, as you will not believe it. Basically, Fallon Tallis Joyce has a
yeah,
poor first touch, and then Paris is running onto the ball, and it wasn't an open goal because like Tallis Joyce does a good job of closing
yeah,
her
yeah,
down,
yeah,
and Millie Turner is sort of chasing her, putting pressure on her. All she needed to do was sort of look up because I think it was Freya Godfrey or Daniela Vanderdonk, one of them was like making a run into the
Yeah,
box,
yeah.
and if she'd just cut it back, they would have had the momentum to like get a good shot off.
Oh,
But I mean, it was a really big chance.
yeah,
LCL probably feel really frustrated that they didn't score there.
yeah, yeah.
Uh,
I mean, like looking at it, total shots, like LCL had 10 to Manchester United's 5. They had 3 big chances to United's 1. Like, at least the stats battle, they definitely won. Uh,
Yeah, and even the set piece that Millie Turner scores, I mean, credit to Millie Turner. She comes into the team and now she's sort of creating a bit of a headache for Mark Skinner because
yeah,
she put, I mean, there was a lot of last ditch defending
yeah,
from Leticia and Turner. And obviously she scores that set piece is really good.
yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
Zigiotti sort of flicks it on and it falls on Turner's head and she
Oh,
just has to sort of
nice.
head it in. It was really I don't think it was worked out, but
Yeah.
I don't think it was like a training pitch thing, but it worked out in the moment.
Tell me something,
But
Kai.
yeah,
Uh,
hmm,
who, if Riviere is injured, do United have a substitute for Riviere?
they
Because
have
doesn't
that new
Lundqvist play on the other
signing.
side?
I think Lundqvist plays right back, no?
Like Lundqvist came in for Gabby George, no, in this game.
I mean, she came in for no. I think she came in for Riviere. No, I don't know
Oh,
who she came in for, but she is a right back. Maybe they used her as a like as a left fullback. Yeah, Gabby Joss got cooked. She got subbed out at halftime, right?
yeah,
Yeah, I think I yeah she did come like she did play in on that left hand side, but
yeah, yeah, yeah.
she is like a right back in general. I think, if I'm not mistaken,
Anyway,
because yeah, I feel like if I mean if Riviere is injured, then I think they are in all kinds of trouble,
yeah,
United, because
yeah.
having a left back as well as a like your starting right back injured is not
Yeah,
a
yeah. I
position
mean, to be fair,
you
they've
want to be
already,
in.
like, I'll be honest, I've been impressed by how well they've dealt with injuries because they lost, like, people across their back line at one point or time with the other in the season.
Yeah.
Janssen came in, pulled a shift. You know, Sandberg, Rolfo managed some, like, weird combination at the starting of the season. I think, like, they've just put players have put in a shift wherever they've been put. And I think that's
Yeah.
very commendable.
And I think United's style of play as well sort of aids in that. You know, I feel
Yeah,
like as much as we are critical of Mark Skinner as a manager, I feel like he understands his players to some extent.
yeah,
Like, you know, like let's not forget that Ella Toon has been gone for a while now.
yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah,
Ella Toon is somebody who is like you can think of as like absolutely integral to the United team, but
yeah,
she's been out and they look pretty comfortable. So yeah, I feel like they are in a better place to deal with injuries in terms of the squad depth that they have, but also in terms of how Skinner approaches these things. Because at the end of the day, he's probably one of the most practical football like managers we have in the league.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
like he will do whatever it takes to get a win, and those are the kinds of managers that are going to win like titles and things like
Yeah,
that. You know.
Mourinho style.
Yeah, exactly. Mourinho style, absolutely.
Yeah. Anyway, Kai, moving on to another game that you might take some heart from. Chelsea versus Liverpool ended 2-0 to Chelsea. Another comfortable 2-0 for Chelsea. Newskin scored in the 40th minute. James scored in the 65th minute. At the starting of the game, we were not so convinced about James starting up top. How did you reckon Chelsea went?
Uh, Again, I feel like this is very similar to the Spurs game in that Chelsea had a poor start. um, I think pretty early on in the game, I think 15, 16 minutes or so into the game, Bergstrom gets a shot off and she scores basically. She puts the ball in the back of the net. But unfortunately, like, you know, when she gets her first touch, the ball sort of bounces from her like foot onto her hand. So she basically handles the ball and she gets that shot off. So, like, that was very lucky for Chelsea
Yeah.
because she was going to get the shot off either way.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And uh, like I think that kind of woke Chelsea up a little bit. But I think overall, not as controlled a performance as I would expect from this team, because I just feel like, I was looking at some of the numbers in terms of like goals conceded and things like that, and Hannah Hampton still has like the most number of clean sheets in the league.
Yeah.
That is a bit like shocking to me. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Like she has like two more clean sheets than Lisa Kopp, I think,
Yeah.
who's the next on the list.
Yeah. I mean, did you
So
see Spurs on the transition?
yeah, well, same with Chelsea on the transition. But yeah, I think Chelsea got a bit lucky. But like in terms of the chances that Liverpool created, it wasn't nearly as bad as Spurs, by the way.
Yeah.
Like against Spurs, there were some really, like, Spurs were just not clinical.
Yeah.
Like Liverpool, on the other hand, were, they looked dangerous on transition, but that last ball was not coming off quite like enough, and there was some last ditch defending that Chelsea did really well. I thought
Yeah.
Burman was absolutely fantastic. She is, oof, what a player we have on our hands, man. Like I know I've said this before, but
Yeah.
she is incredible, and I think in this game she started at centre back. Yeah,
Yeah.
she started at centre back because though we have last two centre backs
Injuries.
standing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
But do you think
but
it in some ways I don't want wish injuries on anybody. In some ways, it's happy circumstance that that you have no choice but to start Berman because Berman's getting minutes.
um, yeah, I mean that's why you have the squad, right?
Yeah.
People are going to get injured. Like you play as many games as Chelsea
No,
do.
as in
Like
I'm saying that
injuries
like
are.
in no other circumstance would Berman have gotten a shot, and now that she has, maybe she will force the others out.
Yeah, no, I was honestly expecting that, but we've seen Berman get starts uh, against City and I think City as well as Arsenal at
Yeah.
left back,
Yeah.
which uh, which is curious. Honestly, like a lot of people are really against it, but I am not,
Yeah.
because she's a young player.
Yeah.
If she's 19, if she's a player who can be molded into a left back, if Sonia sees those qualities in her, then I don't mind it. But I personally don't see those qualities in her.
Yeah.
I can see a good, really good centre back there, and I don't want Sonia to mess with that too much.
Yeah.
So I see where Sonia is coming from to some extent. But in this game, I thought, yeah, I thought we saw the best of Burman. I thought she was incredible.
Yeah, I feel like
Uh,
don't mess with what works. Like if she's a good center back, don't try to make her into a good left back. Like let her
yeah,
be good center back, and improve on
yeah,
that.
yeah, absolutely. And she was pushing forward so much, and
Yeah.
she had obviously that uh, goal that Lauren James scores. She gets
Yeah.
the assist for it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously LJ does almost all the work,
Yeah, yeah.
but she is basically occupying like a left winger's position in that
Yeah, yeah.
in
No,
that
and
game.
I do feel like football has changed, right? Because earlier it used to be, oh, now fullbacks have now got involved in the attack as well. Now it's literally because of the lines that teams are playing, which are insane. Center
Yeah,
backs have also like become more and more involved in attacking play. Like most
yeah,
teams nowadays, the center back is actually the CDM doing the distribution. Like
yeah,
I think for Chelsea when Bjorn was there, to some extent Berman, Koga at Spurs, all these players
yeah,
are the players who are starting the play, who are doing the distribution. And so
absolutely.
I feel like in that like that sort of ball playing center back is what you need in today's game.
Yeah, I think yeah, I think Burman in that sense checks all those boxes, and I feel like she's not the fastest player, but I feel like she has youth on her side a little bit,
Yeah,
if that
yeah,
makes sense.
yeah,
She can keep up, she can track back well. Uh, I don't see a whole lot of players outrunning Burman in the league.
yeah,
But yeah, I think you asked a question about Lauren James as a nine. Um, Still not convinced by it, because I am a firm believer that, like, no matter what football you
yeah,
play,
yeah,
you need a striker, you
yeah.
need somebody in the box,
Did
right? And
did Aggie look better when she came on? As in, it was very short time, but like 83 minutes.
yeah, I mean, more than Aggie, like Sam, like I'm just really curious about what is happening with Sam Kerr and Sonia, because I mean, with the transition of Paul Green, I feel like there's a lot going on behind the scenes that we
I
don't
feel
quite
like it's
understand.
curtains. Like in my head, I feel like Sam Kerr goes in the summer.
Absolutely, I don't doubt that for a second, but I am more concerned about the role that Sonia imagines for Sam Kerr for the rest of the season.
Right.
Because I mean, there's still Champions League, you know,
Yeah.
there's still cup games, there's Champions League football. So you know, what does Sonia imagine Sam's role to be? And you know, she's somebody who's coming back from like a 2 year spell, right,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
injury. So to some extent you want that player to be played into form, which Sonia is a bit unwilling to do,
Yeah.
even when you know you don't have strikers, even when like Beaver Jones is not fully fit. Sam Kerr is fitter in that sense than Beaver Jones, but for some reason she prefers Lauren James in that position. So I'm a little
Yeah.
confused about what is going on there, but
Yeah.
we'll see. I mean, say if Sam has a good Asia Cup and she comes back with some form,
Yeah.
maybe that changes things. But
Maybe
you're absolutely
the
right.
Asia Cup also could be a consideration because you start Sam gets into form. Sam leaves for the Asia Cup at the time when you need her most for like Champions League and stuff like that. Uh, I feel like that's also a problem, right? So maybe she's building to a whole season without Sam so that you are not dependent on Sam when Sam leaves for the Asia Cup.
Yeah, that's a fair point, but like you know, even the Asia Cup in that sense, like yes, I mean the most crucial game in my head right now is the quarterfinals,
Yeah.
and in the quarterfinals, Sam will just be back, or
Yeah.
at least for the first leg, she'll just be back. So yeah, I understand. Basically, prepping the team for when Sam is not there.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, I think I am really worried even from like a injury perspective, because when Sam goes to for the Asia Cup, she's starting.
Yeah.
She's gonna play at least 60 to 70 minutes every game for
Yeah.
Australia in that Asia
Yeah.
Cup. So like the loading is something I'm really concerned about, but that's something else. But the thing that I want to talk about the most in this game, and the thing that I'm really excited about, is the link up between Lauren James and Shirkan Nuskin.
Yeah.
Because you know, in Emma Hayes' last season, we saw this a lot, because at one point we were in the same case situation. We had no striker,
Yeah.
and so Emma Hayes was doing this thing where she was playing Nuskin and James as like a front two.
Yeah.
Nuskin was playing a false nine of sorts, and you know, in this game, although like I feel like, yeah, I feel like they were both playing false nines in some ways, or rather, like LJ was playing a false nine,
Yeah.
Nuskin was playing a 10, but I think Nuskin's movement in the box is, it's weirdly like so much like a striker. You know, I don't
Yeah.
know how to explain it. I don't know how a midfield, like she can do. There's literally nothing that woman cannot do, because like she's just so dynamic.
Yeah.
You know, she I mean, that goal, it's a proper striker's finish. Obviously, that ball into the box from Lauren James is,
Yeah.
it's just, it's so classic LJ, that cross into the box. But uh, the awareness that Nuskin has to a call for the ball, but also get ahead of her defender and to just stick her foot in.
Yeah.
Uh, I feel like that's what we miss when Nuskin is not on the pitch. You know,
Yeah.
especially in circumstances like this, when you need somebody in the box, some kind of box movement.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
feel like of all the players with the aerial threat, because Thompson does that well. Thompson's movement is not bad, but she doesn't give the aerial threat that Nuskin offers. So I feel like if you think about both of those things, I feel like Nuskin is sort of like the perfect player, but still feel like none of that matters, because the moment Captain is fit, she's coming back in.
Yeah.
It is what it is. But overall, I would say this game, it's like a 7 out of 10 for me. Like, got the job done, but it definitely exposed a lot of holes in our midfield in particular, because I said this before, if your defense is left that vulnerable, you can't really blame the defense.
Yeah.
Your midfielders really need to learn how to outmuscle the opponent a
Yeah.
little bit, and that's not happening.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
All right, Ash. Last one. We will wrap it up. with Everton versus West Ham, which finished 1-0. Listen, Everton, man, back to back wins, is it?
Three wins in a row. I mean, technically
Three wins
back to
in a
back wins
row.
with the new manager. But
Ah,
like three wins in a row.
all
I
right.
am very like, and so Hayashi scored in the 8th minute, putting that out there.
Eighth win.
But like, I am really astounded. I feel like Scott Phelan has done something very interesting, which is in his first game, he's been like, okay, I don't know you guys, I don't know y'all well. I obviously coming from the men's side, not watching that much women's football, I'm guessing. Um, Comes in, says, okay, just be compact, tight at the back, don't do anything else, and see if you can score on the transition, right? So they did that, and they got that 1-0 victory against, who was it against? Whoever it was against, they got a 1-0 victory. Good
West
for them.
Ham.
No, not here. The previous game.
Oh, okay, okay. Huh. Okay,
Uh,
sorry.
they won that one game 1-0. I can't remember who they won it against. Um,
Yeah.
they were was it LCL? I feel like it might have been. Yeah, it was LCL. 1-0 versus LCL.
Okay.
Okay, they
Okay.
didn't even try going forward. Okay, it was a very like stodgy victory. I do feel like he's had some time now to work with them. So this was not as much. It was still pretty like tight at the back. Let's be conservative, defend well, do the basics really well. Be direct on the counter. It was very like simple instructions, but I feel like Everton also have the quality of player to take those simple instructions and make them good. Because I'll be honest, I Everton looked like the team. If there was going to be another goal in this game, Everton looked like the team that would score it. Twice, Shemik had to make like some really like crazy saves where she'd get down really fast, like last ditch attempts. So if not for Shemik, I think they could have won this game comfortably 2-0 or 3-0. And another thing is, West Ham, apart from like this really like looping ball in from Asai, that was taken quick 1-2 touch shot. There wasn't really much that West Ham offered, and I was a little surprised by that because like in the previous game against was it Villa? I think it was Villa. In the previous game, Zellum, we were praising Zellum, Martinez,
Oh
Asai,
yeah.
Wanderler. We were praising all these players, right? Ueki as well.
Yeah.
And in this game, I think no, it was Brighton. They were playing Brighton. Um,
Brighton. Yeah.
in this game, because Brighton are so open, that worked on the counter against Brighton. But because
Yeah.
Everton are so like compact and tight and like wound, West Ham kept like trying to come from the flanks and not succeeding. Like they managed
Yeah.
to both Martinez and Asai, they managed to completely like nullify. And at the same time, Everton kept winning like the balls, and like this was not like a fun game. I'll be honest, but like for what was fun, it was that Everton kept winning the ball. Like Gabaro, I think is how you pronounce it.
Yeah. And
Momiki and
Magabaro. Yeah.
Gabaro kept winning the ball off the West Ham midfield. Like constantly. Una Siren, Hansen, Zellum, they were all getting dispossessed by like Gabaro and Momiki, Wheeler as well. And so I'm just like impressed with how quickly this manager has managed to convey just a few basics in terms of play and how they have implemented it that quickly. I mean, let's face it, beating West Ham is something they should have West Ham is something they should have done. Like ideally, with the squad they have and the depth they have and the transfers they had in the summer, they should be cruising past West Ham. But like West Ham have some good attackers, and the fact that they didn't even get a sniff at goal, I think says
Yeah.
something about how organized Everton were. And so it was easy 1-0, 3 games now they've won on the bounce. They're well out of
Yeah.
danger. So good for them.
Also, I think to be noted that Gago was on the bench in this game,
Yeah.
which she has not been for a while
Yeah, the
with
fans were shouting
everything.
Kelly Gargo. So like,
Yeah.
there was at around the 80th minute or something. The fans went like, how it go, the Kelly Gargo, but
Yeah. Yeah.
uh, Gargo did not come on. I was a little bit surprised by that. But then again, Everton were winning. Maybe it was about like defending that lead or whatever,
Yeah.
because they got a midfielder and a defender in Pacheco and Gali on. So
Hmm.
only attacker on was Kramzar.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think with Everton, like for the longest time, their defense was not their strength, and
Yeah,
now they've come to that place where they are working cohesively as a defensive unit. And why not take advantage of that? And you know, um, like Everton is a team that should ideally find itself in circumstances like this,
yeah,
because you do have players like Hayashi, who makes that back post run
yeah,
and
yeah,
like
yeah.
finishes in this case. But
Mumiki
pace of
is,
like somebody like, yeah, Tony Payne, Momiki is like crazy technically good player, and Gago as well. Like these are players who are going to score on the counter for sure.
yeah,
And I feel like if you can go a goal up, sit deep, and get 3 points,
yeah.
fair play to them,
Yeah,
absolutely.
like fair play. And I'll be honest, Everton need the points right now because they are going. So they lose Hayashi, they lose Momiki. I don't know. They might lose a bunch of players. Like they look like of these teams at the bottom, they look like the ones who might lose the most players to the Asia Cup.
Yeah,
So
I think everyone apart from like all the Japanese internationals in their team apart from Momiki has got a call up.
okay, so then they lose
uh
Kitagawa, they lose Hayashi. Um, I feel like they have
Uek,
some.
Rico Ueki.
Ueki's in West Ham, but yeah.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, I was looking at the this thing. Yeah, I think they're gonna lose about 4 players to the
Yeah.
uh to the
Yeah, they must have
um
a few Australians also.
do they have Aussies? I'm not really sure. I
Uh,
think Claire Wheeler is Aussie, but I don't know if she's got a call up. I'm not
yeah,
really sure.
yeah,
She
yeah.
should. She's actually a very good player.
Yeah,
So I
and has
think
had a
she
decent
must also
season
have got a call
actually,
up.
despite Everton's bad
Yeah,
form.
I think Claire Wheeler has been like the most consistent player Everton have had, apart
Yeah.
from Ruby Mace, who, by the way, I am honestly so angry. Serena Wiegman just announced the squad, and listen, like there are some names that I did not expect to see there. Like for example, like not I did not expect to see. I wanted to see, but I just knew for sure I wouldn't see. Which is like somebody like a Grace Fisk, who I think is a very good defender.
Yeah.
Like she's just so important to Liverpool. But I was very sure I'd see Ruby Mace there, and I'm really pissed off that she's not there because she's been incredible this season.
Yeah, I think the problem with Ruby Mace is that all managers that manage her see her in a different position. Like some people see her as a centre back because she's come in clutch as a centre back now, and she's played centre back in the past as a child, as a young player.
Hmm.
Um, and some people see her as a six. Some people even see her as an eight. Some people see her like that the problem with Ruby Mace is that she hasn't nailed down one position that defines her, and so managers don't like. In my head that's a good thing. Like it's a versatile player, you can play anywhere. But I think when it comes to nationality things, they always pick the best player in the
Yeah.
position, and so they'll be like, oh, this is not a center back.
Like I feel a bit differently about this. Okay, like I feel a bit differently because I honestly see Ruby Mace as a six, but that is kind of irrelevant.
Yeah.
Like for me, the thing is, like Wiegman sees Maya Letizia as a right back,
Yeah.
but she plays centre back for
Yeah,
United.
yeah, yeah.
Like granted she does it very well, but these conflicts are always going to be there. But like this is like your opportunity to give players like a call up. Like I'm a little annoyed that Grace Clinton has got a call up. Like
Yeah.
she's barely been playing.
Yeah.
Taylor Hines has got a call up. She's barely been playing.
Yeah.
I'm just like, give Ruby Mace a chance. Like,
Is it? Do you
yes,
think
she's
it's a
given.
big team bias also?
I mean, don't even get me started on big team bias. Like
Yeah.
the fact that Taylor Hines got a call up, and I mean, it's a good thing in a way because I feel like England are running low on left backs. Like
Yeah.
Alex Green cannot play
Who is
left
not?
back. Who is not exactly? So I mean, whatever. But I'm just like justice for Ruby Mills. That's all I want to
Justice for Ruby Mace. Anyway, on that note, if you feel the same way, write hashtag justice for Ruby Mace in the comment section. Make sure you like, subscribe. That's all for the match day 16 review. We will see you next in our watch along for the FA Cup, the Chelsea game. We will see you then. Bye bye.